Hello, everybody. This is your boy Ken, aka MrGentleman, and I am the host of MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast. If you are enjoying this show, you can also check out the Premiere Boys Podcast, hosted by myself, Aaron Keatok Sands, the Star Rider Rod, and Long Live Chief Mighty Mal, where we discuss everything that's going on in the culture, from love, relationships, music, sex, politics, and many more. We can make you laugh, but the show could get a little raunchy, and it may not be for everybody. But if you are curious to listen to the Premier Way podcast, you can tune in to the Premier Way podcast every Wednesdays at 12 a.m. or all podcast platforms, a part of the Premier Powerverse Network. Other shows that you can check out on the Premier Powerverse Network is King Talk with Aaron Sands, hosted by Aaron King Talk Sands every Friday at 12 p.m. Star Time Podcast hosted by the Star Rider Rod every Monday at 12 p.m. And Welcome to the Trilogy hosted by Long Live the Chief Mighty Mal every Tuesday at 12 p.m. Listen and support every show in the Premier Powerverse, including this show, Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast, who is also a part of the Premier Powerverse Network. Thank you for listening to this message and check out the show. Chill! You are now listening to Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast Season 9. Chill! Hello, everybody. This is your boy Ken, aka Mr. Gentleman, one fourth of the Premier Voice Podcast, and your host of Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast. And welcome to another new episode of Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast. Hope all is well. And first thing first, I just want to say happy Thanksgiving to everybody that's listening to Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast. Hope it's a really great one. Hope you spend time with family and that you're blessed and thankful to be here. So once again, happy Thanksgiving to everybody that is listening to Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast. And on this episode, for the first time, we have a Thanksgiving episode of Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast. And pretty much on this episode, we pretty much going to talk about what I am thankful for. So y'all already know what to do. Sit back, relax, and I'll be right back.
Hey guys, it's Destiny Unique, and you are listening to Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. And that is time. It's time for Mr. Gentleman Facts, quote of the day. And today's quote of the day is, when you want something so bad, it will not happen to you. But when you're not out there looking for it, it will come to you. So always remember that. And that is today, Mr. Gentleman Facts, quote of the day. Hello, everybody. This is your boy Ken, aka Mr. Gentleman, and I am the host of Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast. And this commercial break is brought to you by Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast. On Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast, we interview many guests about their life journey, pretty much where they come from and where they at now. Also promoting their brands or whatever they're doing at the time they come on the show. We also have the host talk about personal stories about himself and everything that he's been through. And also we have fun conversation about anything music, anything old school, relationships, wrestling, and many more. And y'all can tune in to Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast every Sundays at 12 a.m. We are also on every Thursdays at 12 a.m. for Spin-Off Series Thursdays, where we have all of Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast spin-off series all in one day, where we have a conversation about music podcast every first Thursday at 12 a.m. The Old School Show with myself and the Star Rider Rod every fourth Thursday at 12 a.m. And we have Date Night Talk podcast with myself and Miss Vanna B every second and third Thursdays at 12 a.m. And y'all can tune in to Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, The Pods, and many more. Or y'all can check it out on the official website of Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast, www.realmrgentlemanlifestylepodcast.com, www.realmrgentlemanlifestylepodcast.com, and tune in every Sundays and Thursdays at 12 a.m. for Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast. Thank y'all for tuning in to this commercial break of Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast. Back to your regularly scheduled program. Cheer!
This is Natalie Armstrong, and you're listening to Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. And at this time, it's time for the Thanksgiving episode of Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast. Our first Thanksgiving episode. And on this episode, I'm going to tell y'all what I am thankful for. And what I am thankful for is having God in my life. I just want to say thank you, God, for waking me up every day. Thank Him for always protecting me no matter where I'm at and no matter what I do. And thank you for answering a lot of my prayers, even when things don't seem like things are going the right way. So I'm thankful to have God in my life. And He does play an important part in my life. So I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for my family through being here, through being healthy. You know, thanks to my mother and father through being here. And thankful for my three sisters doing amazing things. And no big things is coming. So thankful for my family through being here. Thankful for my brothers from the Midway podcast, YPG, and everything. Starting up from knowing a lot of y'all from high school up to now and being friends for over 25 years. It's good to see y'all grow into the men that y'all becoming, from marriages, being a father, from successful businesses and brands, and just becoming y'all. So I'm thankful for y'all for always having my back through the good and bad. And I'm thankful for returning that back to y'all as well. I'm thankful for Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast. Because, you know, this podcast played a big part in my life. And it helped me to become the person that I am today. And especially dealing with a lot growing up. And the podcast helped me conquer a lot of my fears. And y'all, you know, talking to y'all. And y'all pretty much telling me that the show inspired y'all in some kind of way. Inspire y'all to start a podcast and inspire y'all to just never give up. And, you know, hearing those words, thank y'all for that. You know, thank you to all the guests who came on Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast, all 83 guests. You know, everybody played a big part of the show, from sharing their story, from fun conversation, from being open and honest, and respecting me and my show. For that, I thank y'all. Y'all always will have a home at Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast. And thank y'all for taking the time to share your story to the world, even though y'all was nervous and shy. And thank y'all for making me help y'all to get comfortable as well telling your story. So thank y'all for helping the show grow into what it is today. And of course, thank you to everybody who support this with the Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast, all podcast platform, for Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Good Pods, iHeartRadio, YouTube, and many more. You know, what if y'all, the show will exist. And I just want to say thank y'all for giving me a chance to tell my story, to allow my guests to tell y'all their stories, and enjoying the fun conversation, laughing together when we talk about music, old school, dating, wrestling, and everything. And thank y'all. And thank y'all for making my dreams come true. Because if it wasn't for y'all, this would never happen. So once again, thank you to everybody who's been supporting Mr. Gentleman like that podcast for almost 7 years. Yes, we're about to be 7 years on January 20th. So yes, thank y'all for supporting Mr. Gentleman like that podcast for almost 7 years. Also, thank you to my therapist. She really helped me a lot as well. So I just want to shout her out too, from starting my session in 2020 during the pandemic. And while I only went to therapy because of what was going on in the pandemic, going to therapy pretty much opened up on a lot of things that's in my life, from my childhood, from anxiety, from past stuff that I didn't want to talk about, that I was able to talk about now, and many other things. So, and now we are reconnecting recently, and I'm back in therapy now. And she also helped me to really open up to talk to y'all on this show. So I just want to shout out to my therapist as well, and thank you for helping me through my journey and continue to help me through my journey. So thank you. And last but not least, I'm thankful for myself. I'm thankful for myself because while going to therapy and talking to her, something that she said really hit me, and I didn't realize it until I really thought about it. She told me that I been through a lot, but no matter what I've been through, I managed to overcome it, and you don't even realize how strong you actually are. And I sat there and really thought about that, and she actually right. I went through, dealing with speech problems growing up, being picked on from most of my life, from anxiety, panic attacks, from many other things, from bad friendships, bad relationships, even things where I lost myself. And all those things that happened, I managed to overcome it no matter what. And for that, I thank myself for that. Of course, thank everybody who played a part in helping me through my journey, of course, and everything. And I'm thankful for still being here, and thankful for life, and thankful for what's next in my life. And yeah, and just want to say thank you everybody for taking time to listen to the short episode of Mr. Gentleman Like the Podcast, and enjoy your Thanksgiving. And I'll be right back. Hello, everybody. This is your boy Ken, aka Mr. Gentleman. Now, I am the host of Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast, and this commercial break is brought to you by Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast presents Spinoff Series Thursdays. And Spinoff Series Thursday is the new home for Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast Spinoff Series that brought to you shows like A Conversation About Music Podcast, The Old School Show, and Date Night Talk Podcast. And A Conversation About Music Podcast is a music spin-off series where we talk about anything music, from the current music scene and the old school music scene, where we interview many guests that's in the music industry and artists about their music journey. We have a segment game called The Face Off, which is a versus inspired game, and we have roundtable discussion about variety of music topics. And y'all can check out A Conversation About Music Podcast every first Thursday at 12 a.m. Every first Thursday at 12 a.m. Now, the Old School Show that features myself and the star Roddy Rod is a show where we discuss anything old school, from music, TV shows, movies, and many more. We also bring in guests to join in on the old school conversation. Y'all can check out the Old School Show with myself and the star Roddy Rod every fourth Thursday at 12 a.m. Every fourth Thursday at 12 a.m. And last but not least, we have Date Night Talk Podcast with myself and Miss Vanna B, where we talk about anything relationship related topics like love, dating, relationships, cheating, the good and the bad, and many more. And y'all can check out this spin-off series, Date Night Talk Podcast, every second and third Thursdays at 12 p.m. So look out for Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast Presents Spin-off Series Thursdays, a conversation about music podcast every first Thursdays. The Old School Show with myself and the Star Riding Rod every fourth Thursdays, and Date Night Talk Podcast with myself and Miss Vanna B every second and third Thursdays. And y'all can check out Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast every Sundays for the main series and every Thursday for spin-off series Thursdays. And thank y'all for checking out this commercial break. And now back to your regularly scheduled program. I just want to take the time to thank everybody for tuning in to this latest episode of Mr. Gentleman Like That Podcast, the Thanksgiving episode of Mr. Gentleman Like That Podcast. Thank you for taking your short time to spend it with me and spend it while I listen to this episode. And hopefully, y'all having an amazing time with your family. Y'all having a safe Thanksgiving, having an amazing time, and y'all doing it with the one that you love. So thank you once again for taking the time to listen to Mr. Gentleman Like That Podcast on Thanksgiving Day. And y'all already know where y'all can catch Mr. Gentleman Like That Podcast every Sundays for the main series, every Thursday for a spin-off series Thursday, where we have shows like a conversation about music podcast every first Thursday at 12 p.m. Date Night Talk Podcast with myself and Miss Vanna B every second Thursday at 12 p.m. The Old School Show with myself and the Star Rider Ride every fourth Thursday at 12 p.m. And the Top 20 Countdown Show, the series with myself and Jalen every third Thursday at 12 p.m. Spin-off series Thursdays will be returning in January of 2026 when we have the series premiere of the Top 20 Countdown Show and returning new episodes of Date Night Talk starting in January, while the Old School Show, a conversation about music podcast, and the newest spin-off series Thursday show, Date Night Talk Stories, will be premiering later in 2026. So look out for Mr. Gentleman Like That Podcast returning to Thursdays. And you can check out Mr. Gentleman Like That Podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Good Pods, and many more. Y'all can rate the show 5-star rating on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Good Pods, and Podchases. The more y'all make sure more people know about Mr. Gentleman Like That Podcast. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel at Ken, a.k.a. Mr. Gentleman Like That Podcast. Ken, a.k.a. Mr. Gentleman Like That Podcast. You could check out the audio version of Mr. Gentleman Like That Podcast. You can watch all the visual version of Mr. Gentleman Like That Podcast called Mr. Gentleman Like That Podcast TV. And you can check out the Mr. Gentleman Facts Quote of the Day every Monday. So subscribe to the YouTube channel at Ken, a.k.a. Mr. Gentleman Like That Podcast. And if you want to be a guest on Mr. Gentleman Like That Podcast, send me a bio about yourselh and everything that you do to my email at kenypgent@gmail.com or hit me up on social media, Ken_Mr. Gentleman. I repeat, Ken, Ken_Mr. MR, Gentleman, GENTLEMAN. And we can set something up. I do look for guests for the second half of season 9 and season 10 of Mr. Gentleman Like That Podcast. You can also check me out on the Premier Boys Podcast with myself, Aaron Ketok Sands, Star Rider Rod, and Lauren Luther Chief Mighty Mal. The season 5 premiere of the Premier Boys Podcast is out now, and every Wednesdays at 12 a.m. on the Premier Powerverse Network. Other shows you can check out in the Premier Powerverse Network is King Talk with Aaron Sands, hosted by Aaron King Talk Sands. You can check out all episodes right now and look out for the newest show After Hours with Aaron Sands coming soon. You can also check out all episodes of Star Time Podcast on all podcast platforms. And look out for new episode of Welcome to the Trilogy, hosted by Alone of the Chief Mighty Mal. Listen and support every show in the premier Podverse Network. And at the time, it's time for everybody's favorite segment. It's time for Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Shoutouts, where we shout out 4 to 5 shows and we give them their flowers. And the first show that we're going to shout out is this new show that I started listening to called The Pop Off with Jay Bella. And The Pop Off is a show where pop culture get real for late night TV shakeup and some celebrity scandals to the moments of everybody debating online. Jay Bella breaks down all with side-eye, unfiltered energy. And this is a really, really good show. So far, I listened to 2 episodes so far, and I enjoying it too. She got a really dope radio voice, and I'm looking forward to continue to check out the pop-up with Jay Bella. So you can check it out on Spotify, Good Pods, YouTube, and all that good stuff. So check out the show. It's really dope. Check it out. The next show that I'm going to talk about is the Chronicle of a Virgo podcast, hosted by Shaquita Johnson. This podcast takes a deep dive into the realm of mental health, healing, and personal growth. And this is a really good show. Always been a fan of the show for a very, very long time. And I've been on this show like a while back, but this is a really good show. She's on break at the moment, but check out Chronicle of a Virgo. She was also on my show on season 6 of Mr. Gentleman, like the podcast. Also check out that episode because that was a really, really dope conversation. And check out Chronicles of a Virgo. The next show that we're going to talk about is My Weekly Mixtape, hosted by Brian Carburn. And My Weekly Mixtape is a music podcast that celebrates the art of playlists. And this is a really dope show, which dive into different playlists from rock, hip-hop, R&B, and different other topics. And you already know me. I love music, so y'all already know me. I love music shows because I used to do music at one point. But check out the show. This is a really dope show. Brian also had another show called The Playlist Wars, who with another co-host. And that was also a really good show as well. So check out both shows when you get a chance. My Weekly Mixtape and go deep down and check out The Playlist Wars as well. Next show we're going to talk about is Wild Night with Rocky Powers. And on this show is we living your wildest night, one episode at a time. And, this also was a one show that I listened to a lot. Definitely was one of my favorite shows when she started. She just recently ended the show. But if y'all never got a chance to listen to the show, check out Wild Night with Rocky Powers. Really good show. She interviewed many guests. They did tell her about their Wild Night. And she even had a lot of personal episodes as well. So check out Wild Night with Rocky. And the last show that we'll talk about is the Web Dub Podcast. And a podcast about activists hosted by Liz, Blue, and Rainey. Story from Black women, mental health, and more. And this was a really, really good show. They dive into, that's to say they keep it real, and they dive into many things. And I love their point of view on a lot of things. I love the conversation they have. And I feel like this show is a show that we really need right now. With everything that's going on in the world, this is the type of show we need right now. And I really hope they come back and start doing some new episodes because this is an amazing show. Shout out to the Web Dub Podcast. And yeah, bring the show back and talk about some new topics. And yeah, because we really need it right now. And check out the 5 show that I shot out this week. The Pop-Up with Jay Bella, The Chronicle of a Virgo, My Weekly Mixtape / The Playlist Wars, Wild Night with Rocky, and the Red Dub Podcast. And that is this week, Mr. Gentleman, like the shout-outs. Yeah! And y'all already know, add me on Good Pods, Mr. Gentleman. Y'all already know Good Podcast, the many independent podcasts. You see what everybody listens to. We can rate each other's shows, and we have the charts. And at the time, it's time for Mr. Gentleman, like the achievement, but we spotlight everything Mr. Gentleman, like the podcast is doing. And of course, we have the the charts. For society and culture, we are number 4 on the Nobel chart. We're still number 1 on any chart. We've been number 1 for 22 days. And for personal journal, we do number 1, and we've been number 1 for 22 days. So thank you, everybody who has continued to listen and support Mr. Gentleman, like that positive on Good Pods, Spotify, and every podcast platform. That really means a lot. And continue to grow the show and continue to support Mr. Gentleman, like that podcast. And of course, check out the official website of Mr. Gentleman, like that podcast, www.realmrgentlemanlikethatpodcast.com, where y'all can check out every episode of Mr. Gentleman, like that podcast, all 259 episodes of Mr. Gentleman, like that podcast. You can check out every video that you can watch from Mr. Gentleman, like that podcast. You can check out every guest who's been on Mr. Gentleman, like that podcast, all 83 guests who've been on Mr. Gentleman, like that podcast. You can check out every guest appearance that I've been on. More guest appearances coming real soon. I will be starting the Mr. Gentleman, like that podcast promo tour starting in 2026. And we celebrate the 7-year anniversary of Mr. Gentleman, like the podcast. So I'm going to do the podcast tour, go on people platforms, and go from there. And of course, check out the official merch store of Mr. Gentleman, like the podcast, www.MrGentleman.lifestylepodcaststore.dasher.com, where we have shirts, hoodies, mugs, hats, and many more. Support the merch store so we can upgrade your listening experiences. And we are getting more merch designs coming real soon, so look out for that. Check out the official merch store from Mr. Gentleman, like that podcast, www.MrGentleman.lifestylepodcaststore.dasher.com, and check out the official website from Mr. Gentleman, like that podcast, www.realmrgentlemanlikethatpodcast.com. And once again, thank you everybody who check out this latest episode of Mr. Gentleman, like that podcast. Thank you for taking the time of your day to listen to the Thanksgiving episode of Mr. Gentleman, like that podcast. Or the next episode coming this Saturday at 12 a.m. We have another new episode of Mr. Gentleman, like the podcast, dropping this week. And it is the Survivor Series War Games prediction episode with the Premier Boy Podcast own King Talk with Aaron Sands and Long Live the Chief Mighty Mount on the show as we talk about Survivor Series prediction and the John Cena's last match, who will be his last opponent. So look out for that episode. And once again, thank you everybody for tuning into the latest episode of Mr. Gentleman, like that podcast. Have a good day or night, wherever you're listening to the episode. And happy Thanksgiving to all of y'all and to all your families. Yeah!
Hi, this is Michelle Miller from Mentors on the Mic podcast, and you are listening to Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle.